The first thing I start every morning with is this Complete GI. It's by PE Science and it's an amazing probiotic. It's just so important, especially when taking things like protein and pre-workout, which can be rough on the gut. I find taking this every morning has really helped my digestion. And then while I'm drinking my Complete GI, I just start making my oats. I love making my oats with flax, chia, and hemp seeds. And then to finish up my oatmeal, I always sprinkle granola. I put blueberries on top, and then I love adding honey. Honey has so many benefits, and it gives you a great pump before your workout as well. And then while I eat my oats, I always have my greens before, and then I have bone broth. That's been something I've added into my routine, and it's helped so many things. It's helped my joint health, my fingernails, my hair health. I honestly can't talk enough about bone broth and the added benefits. Before my workout, I always begin with dynamic stretches. This is going to allow you to lift more, and it's going to wake up those glute muscles. After I finish my dynamic stretches, I move into glute activation. Glute activation is so important, especially if you're lifting heavy on a leg day. It's going to wake up your glutes and going to allow you to lift way more. With this exercise here, I just place my band right above my knees, and then I add this 10-pound weight, and I'm just driving my glutes and my hips up. Before all my leg days, I always start with glute activation. It helps improve my mind to muscle connection, my muscle engagement, and I love doing this banded side kick with a 10-pound weight. You'll really feel your glutes, and it's so important before you hit those compound lifts. I place the band right above my knees, and I usually do 4 to 6 sets of 10 for the banded glute activation. I just want to feel that my glutes are awake and ready for my heavier compound lifts. I always start my leg day on the Smith machine doing squats. I start with 25s on each side, and I actually like doing this banded. It allows me to wake up my glute muscles, and then also I'm not so worried about my form since I'm on the Smith machine. I'm really able to go deep with my squats and feel it within my glutes. With squats, I do 4 sets of 10, adding 25 pounds on each side. By increasing the load little by little, you force your glutes to get stronger, rounder, and more powerful. Progressive overload is so important when doing these compound lifts, and it's the secret to glute growth. After I finish my normal squats, I move to a lighter weight, which is 45 pounds on each side, and I focus on going into a deep squat, just keeping all the tension within your glutes and not coming up all the way. You're gonna feel this burn. When doing heavier lifts, it's so important to rest between sets. 2 to 3 minutes is perfect. It allows your muscles to rest and prepare for the next lift. But when doing lighter glute isolation movements like this, it's usually okay to rest for 30 seconds to a minute, just to keep your glutes activated, and you require less rest because you're lifting lighter. So now moving on to my favorite glute exercise, which is hip thrusts. I begin with 3 45s on each side, and I do 4 sets of 10. Each time I add a 45 to each side for progressive overload, and I'm always just making sure that my form is good and that I'm constantly feeling tension within my glutes. When doing heavier compound lifts like hip thrusts, I usually love to rest between 2 to 5 minutes just to fully recharge. If you rest too little, your muscles won't have enough energy to perform at your full strength for the next set, so rest is crucial. And when I'm done with my hip thrusts, I move on to single leg hip thrusts. These have been a game changer for my glutes and have added so much mass. I do 4 sets of 5, alternating each legs, and since it's a lighter weight, I'm not taking a lot of rest to keep my glutes activated. For single leg hip thrusts, I love doing it on the Smith machine, and you can just stagger your feet. So you're just isolating one glute at a time. I do 4 sets of 5, alternating each legs, and since it's a lighter weight, I'm not taking a lot of rest to keep my glutes activated. If you're looking to add serious mass to your glutes, this exercise, the single leg hip thrust, should be in your workout lineup. Unlike regular hip thrust, this movement isolates one side at a time, which doubles the load on each glute. Since I've added these to my workout, I've noticed my glutes have had so much growth. Next, I'm moving on to the glute abduction machine, which is my favorite machine within the whole gym. This move targets your glute medius, which is the muscle on the side of your glutes. This is going to help you kind of widen your hips and create the illusion of a lifted glute. I love the glute abduction machine. It helps you train with high volume without stressing your back or your knees. And one thing I always tell people is you should be leaning slightly forward, and that's going to help wake up your glutes, and you're really going to feel the tension and be able to isolate your glutes more. For this exercise, I always lean forward, and I usually do 4 sets of 10, each time increasing the rate by 20 pounds. If you want to build bigger and stronger glutes, do not sleep on reverse lunges. I didn't do them for the longest time, and since I've been doing them, I've noticed so much glute growth. Unlike forward lunges, these reverse lunges shift more of the load onto your glutes and hamstrings, reducing the pressure on your knees and giving you a deeper stretch through your glutes. With this exercise, I usually do 3 sets of 5, alternating legs, and trying to lean slightly forward to engage my glutes. Next up is good mornings. The hip hinge movement targets your glute maximus by forcing it to control the downward phase and power back up. The stretch at the bottom puts your glutes under deep tension, which is the key for muscle growth. So do not skip these good mornings. You'll feel your glutes burning. For this size, I move to a lighter weight, and I really try to emphasize on mind to muscle connection and just focusing on feeling it in my glutes. I love doing cable kickbacks. I always try to focus on mind to muscle connection, and I always use them as a finisher with high reps and slow and controlled movements. And trust me, you'll feel them in your glutes. For this exercise, I usually do 4 sets of 10 on each leg, starting at 10 pounds, working my way up to 20. speeds up recovery by boosting blood flow. It lowers the risk of injury, and I always used to skip stretching, but it's so important. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to be making sure to post weekly workout videos, and I'd love it if you could like and subscribe if you like this video.